Ben is here to rock our ballroom world. What movie would you like to talk about, Answer?
I would like to talk about The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug.
And you thought it was fresh or rotten?
It was a little fresh, but it was kind of like...
Ben, a little fresh. Okay, so can you expand on that? Can you add... You kind of liked it?
Yeah, well, it was like a little bit too much going on, action, and I didn't really understand it, but then when I started reading the book, I'm starting to understand it because of the chapters, but it was kind of like all at once.
I want to say I'm really happy it led you to go read the book, because that doesn't often happen when people see a movie then they go to read the book, so good for you.
I also have a question. I wonder why the director Peter Jackson made The Hobbit a prequel instead of just a trilogy before the Lord of the Rings.
So why did Peter Jackson... Well, The Hobbit was written as taking place before the Lord of the Rings books, but now maybe you guys know better than I do specifically, or perhaps are channeling Peter Jackson at the moment. Why did he make Lord of the Rings first instead of The Hobbit? Does anybody have any backstory on that?
If I had to guess, it's because the Lord of the Rings trilogy was based on 3 books, and it lent itself to a trilogy. And it was only after those movies made almost $3 billion worldwide that he decided to turn one Hobbit book into 3 very small.
If I'm not very mistaken, I could be very mistaken, but my understanding is that there was, at the time that The Lord of the Rings was in development, there were lingering rights issues with The Hobbit. And I think that was part of what kept that from getting made.
And I think Jackson always wanted to make The Hobbit.
Yeah, and so once Lord of the Rings got made, then I think things got cleaned up a little bit. But I think, ultimately, to your question, they didn't make The Hobbit first because at the time, Peter Jackson couldn't make it first.
So the bummer of the answer to your question could allegedly be because lawyers are a total bummer, which is something you'll understand when you're older.
Did you like the dragon? Was Smaug what you liked?
Well, I didn't really like it too much because
Hey, Ben, I'm with you, buddy.
because it's called The Desolation of Smaug, and he was only in at the end.
Ooh, that's a great criticism. You're entirely right, and in this light you look like a young William Shatner. And you're the best.